Today we'll be reviewing Graham Stephan's The Real Estate Investing Blueprint. So hope you enjoy. It's like a 6-part series that we'll be going over and reviewing, and just going to let it play. Not gonna give much comment during it. Just enjoy, and hopefully it works out the best way. Help this information helps you out.
Guys, and yeah, I'm honestly so honored that you come from like Canada, like all across the United States. It's amazing. So I really appreciate that. This is something I spent 15 hours putting this thing together. So I hope it's okay. If I'll probably do like a Q&A. Very end. If anyone has any questions. I did like 162 slides, and I have 2 hours. So I might just start skipping past a few of the things. I have my phone up here for time. So anyway, I'm calling this the real estate investing movement. This is really, in my opinion, one of the ultimate retirement plans out there. It's really something that I personally see as like a 30-year plan.
This is his ultimate retirement plan.
And then 30 years
his blueprint that you can utilize as well.
This is going to be spitting off cash, so it's all going to be pure profit. And then at that point, it really doesn't matter if the market goes up, because you haven't paid off property anyway. And that, in my opinion, is really one of the safest investments out there. It's going to be spitting off cash flow.
Please like, subscribe, and share. Please like, subscribe, and share.
And it's really about building long-term wealth.
I don't know why it's
paused. Growing the cash flow at the same time. And that's one of the reasons I really like real estate.
Got fast internet, so I don't know why it's paused.
At the same time, you're getting monthly cash flow. So that's the one thing that I kind of prefer real estate over stocks. I know you can do like dividend stocks, but one of the benefits is really getting rent and monthly cash flow, and it's depreciating that. There's a lot of tax benefits doing that. This is really meant to be like a 10 to 30 year plan. It's not meant to be something where like 2 years from now you can make 10K a month or anything like that. This isn't big net. So this is really meant to be like a 10 to 30 year strategy where it's probably going to take you 5 to 10 years to start to build up the money. And the reason why this works so well is the fundamentals don't really change. It's going to be the same thing that you would do 20 years ago that you could do today, that you could do 10 years from now. It really comes down to evaluating the right deal, knowing what to look for. And once you know how to do that, you should be able to find that just about any market. So yeah, so for me, in 9 years, I was able to build up a $4 million real estate portfolio that generates over $5,000 a month in cash flow. And that does not also include paying down the equity, which is about another $2,500 a month. So total between it's like $7,500 a month. And 9 years ago, I started with nothing. I mean, it's absolutely nothing. And again, and the best part about this, you can replicate these same strategies in any market. It is a 2008 is about to crash. As long as you buy right, you hold long term, it's always going to recover. Likewise, in like 2012,
he's a long-term investor. What works for him, you may not want to do that.
We're in a good market or a bad market. That's one of the reasons why I like
but it's always good to research all strategies and then decide which one works best for you.
I don't have a college degree. I don't have any formal education. I have no prior experience doing real estate. I started when I was 18 years old. And I figured out a lot just from watching what my clients were doing, reading books. And I'm sure now, like if YouTube was big back then for this stuff, I would be watching YouTube videos. So why my blueprint is a little bit different? He said I really focus on real world situations and examples based off my own experience and seeing everything firsthand. This is theory. I mean, this is pretty much exactly And again, this is what works regardless of market conditions. I'm not about speculating. I'm not about flipping. I'm not about doing any of that. I want something where you can buy it right and it holds for 30 years and hopefully keep these properties long term. I owe all of that, everything to this day. I owe it all. Started off as a real estate agent. Then from there began investing in real estate in 2011, and from there slowly started to branch out. This is the first property I ended up buying. It was just north of Rancho Cucamonga, and this place was a nightmare. I wrote an offer on this place, not on stage. It was a hoarder that lived in this. You couldn't even see it. And I bought this property nearly sight unseen. I living room, and that was it. And it smelled awful. But this is it after I renovated it. We spent about 12 grand fixing it up, which is really like.
Please like, subscribe, and share.
Contractors were without jobs. They would take anything they possibly could. So I ended up 12 grand renovating the entire place. Years. Yeah, so I bought this house for $59,500. Now, at the height of the market, she refinanced this in 2005 for $250,000. So just a few years later, $59,500. So I bought it for it. Spent $12,000 fixing it up. I rented it pretty much immediately for $1,200. And that to me was $900 per month net income.
Please like, subscribe, and share.
This is another house I bought just 2 blocks away from that one. $72,000, but $8,000 fixing up. Rented for the same price, same square footage, $1,200 a month. Made another $900 a month in net rental income on that, and that was a 13.5 cash on cash return. I bought this one. This was about a mile away, $125,000.
Please like, subscribe, and share.
It's 3 units, triplex, $2,400 a month for rent, $1,500 net cash flow, 13.8 cash return, and then I continued scaling up from there. So in order how to do this, I'm going to kind of go over some of the basics about how you can get started. What I look for. Number one, obviously, building credit. I've said so many times on the channel. This is my biggest mistake.
That's what I always emphasize. Build that credit. Build your credit.
Cash, and had I had credit, I would have been able to get a loan and basically triple whatever I was buying back then. I mean, I would be so far ahead had I just gotten a credit card for the. So, step one, build your credit.
Be wise when you're using your credit to build wealth, though.
A lot of money. I have seen people that have, let's say,
leveraging works well, but at the same time, can also hurt you.
They're going to end up paying an extra 1.5% on a mortgage, which is going to add up to a lot of money. And at the end of the day, that means less profit. If you're ever going to invest in real estate, 100% of a one is your credit. I mean, that's something you really have to guard with your life. And how to build up a credit score for free. I really like if any of you guys are just starting, open up
build credit with the Church of Money. Kevin Jones, 010171 at gmail.com.
These are really just going to be for base. You're going to have these credit cards for hopefully decades, and this is going to be something that
Kev Jones, 010171 at gmail.com. Build credit. Trade line.
Put like $20 in gas on it.
Business credit.
Do that like every single month. You don't need to do a lot, and you shouldn't have to pay anything in interest to do so. And also sign up for creditcard.com. I mean, this is what I use religiously. I'm on there like every other week, just kind of checking my score, and it gives you credit. It's totally free. It's not an exact credit score. It's pretty close. Usually from the influencers at like 10 to 30 points. It seems like a big range, but it's close enough. You should be able to monitor this. And also keep an eye on like if anybody owns an account or anything like that. You can build on this. Step two, still obviously you got the whole credit thing. Pretty simple.
Please like, subscribe, and share. Please like, subscribe, and share.
Saving for a down payment.
Apologize for the interruptions and
When it
delays.
comes to buying real estate, I never see people buying with no money down, especially in Los Angeles. I don't see it exist. I've seen some VA loans where you put very little down. typically you're going to need to put down anywhere between 3 and 25%. If you're buying a primary residence, which I'll get into a little bit later, you can put down as little as 3% to pay PMI. I'm not a huge fan of doing that. I personally recommend coming in with preferably 15%, just so you have a little bit more skimming, a little bit more ammunition. And one of my hints with this is buy a primary residence, get that 30-year mortgage at a really low interest rate, and then rent it out after a year. One of the best ways to lock in that really low interest rate, otherwise you're going to end up paying a lot more if you get the investment property loan. In terms of saving for a down payment, you really got to make it a priority. And the reality is that it can take people, decades to be able to save up enough money to put a down payment on the property. So you really have to make it a priority, and you really have to end up paying yourself first. And one of the ways to really do this, again, like Jeremy mentioned, Mint.com is phenomenal. I started tracking my expenses in 2011. I tracked every single penny that went in my account, everything I spent money on, it was in Mint. And I got my budget perfectly down. And then from there, I would really determine okay, I'm spending too much money on sushi. So maybe I could cut back on sushi and save a little bit of money. I guarantee every time you start tracking your expenses, you're gonna find things that you're just spending too much money. It always happens. So Mint.com. And then also automate your savings. So what I use, I have everything go to an Ally Bank savings account. They offer 2%. So my recommendation usually is never invest money that you're going to need over the next 3 to 5 years. I think it's too risky to put in the market. So what I do, I get my guaranteed 2%. Ally Bank is phenomenal. It's free. I also use Ally Bank for all of my rental properties. So I have a separate checking account for every single property for Ally Bank. It's free. Free check, free debit cards for free. I think I have 7 checking accounts. Ally. It's amazing. So Ally.com. But then at a certain point, you really only cut back your expenses so much. If you're making 35 grand a year, there's only so much you can save before you need to start earning more money. So at a certain point, when you realize you've done as much as you can in terms of savings, the only thing you can do from there is really start earning more. The debt to income ratio when it comes to getting a loan really matters a lot. This means that if you're making $100,000 a year, but you're spending $100,000 a year, lenders see this, they're not going to loan you any money, even though you're making a pretty decent income. Ideally, they want your mortgage payment not to exceed 44% of your income after expenses. So again, if you're making $100,000 a year, and let's say you're saving all of that, they want to make sure that your mortgage payment's not going to exceed $44,000 a year. That's why, for me, cutting back has one of the biggest impacts on the types of loans I can qualify for. And one of the things that I see a lot of people do is they make the mistake of, let's say, getting a really cool car or something like that. It's going to cost them $10,000 a month.
That's black people's number one mistake.
And in return for that, that equates to maybe a $220,000 loan. They will lend you $220,000 less because of your car, even if it's a lease. And I've had this happen before where people have a 6-month lease.
That's why I teach you how to use your CPN to get your little autos and stuff like that. Just keep up your payments.
They look at whatever you're
that won't affect you anything else that you got going with your assets in.
Now, one hint here when it comes to investing in real estate is that they can use the projected income to help qualify you, like a mortgage. So this means that let's say the property you want to buy is making $1,000 a month. They will take 75% of that and apply it towards your loan. So they will basically take an extra $750 a month and count that as though that's an extra $750 a month you're making. So it makes it a little bit easier to qualify when you're buying like 3 or 4 units, especially if you're buying something that you live in. So in terms of how to prepare, first thing I recommend doing before you start investing in real estate is pay off all high interest rate debt first. That could be anything like student loans, credit card debt, anything basically high interest that is not towards any sort of average of those 2 years. After that, they want 3 to 6 months of bank statements. They'll typically ask for checking accounts, savings accounts, any sort of retirement accounts, something like this. Credit report, preferably if you have above a 740 score of success rate. You got to make sure that you have your down payment, obviously, and then they want to see that you have reserves. They want to make sure that after you buy this property, you're not going in and going to be tapped out after you get this. So they want to see that you have at least 3 to 6 months of cash reserves to make sure you can afford the property after you buy it. So one of the things that I always do is I prepare my tax returns ahead of time, and this is one of the biggest things that's always saving me a ton of money. What I will do before I file my tax return is I will draft it up through my account, and then I will pass it by my lender, and he'll look through it and say, okay, well, we need to show a little bit more income to be on err on the side of caution for the property you want to qualify for. Or the lender will say, you're more than fine. You can deduct a little bit more from your expenses, so you get a little bit less tax. Doing this is easily saving like 10 or 15 grand just by going back and forth, and then I'll have the accountants go and redraft my tax returns based on how much income I need to show. I will give it back to the lender. He'll say okay on it, and then we come up with a number where I'm not overpaying more than I need to, but at the same time I need to show enough income to make sure I get the loan. You also need to really determine, if you want to invest in real estate, how much time you have to devote to this. My reality is that it's very time intensive at the very beginning to find.
Please like, subscribe, and share.
Ready to the point where it can be pretty passive. At this point, from 6 properties that I have, to 10 tenants, it takes me about an hour a month at this point to manage all of them. Most of that really is just depositing checks and keeping track of rent. That's what's involved. But at the very beginning, I was like a full-time gig, showing properties, showing them for rent. My last duplex, it was a nightmare.
Thank you for watching.
Maybe 30 or 40 people. I ended up
Watch
renting it in 3 days.
the next video that comes up. Look out for continuation of the review of Graham Stephan, breaking down the basics, the Real Estate Agent Academy. Thank you for watching.